In this video today, ladies and gentlemen, we have 30 Cayo Perico facts only veterans know. I did 3 videos, all probably about 2 years ago now, and each of them had 10 things in it. And I've been meaning to consolidate them into one video for the longest time now, and I figured now is the perfect time to do so. So if you've been around the channel for like since the beginning, you may have seen some of these, but if not, they're all new to you. Maybe you just need a refresher anyway. So this is 3 videos all stitched together. I've tried editing it to make sure it doesn't seem weird, but you'll see we go through 10 and then 10 more and then 10 more to equal 30. Let's jump into it. 10 useful or maybe unuseful, depending on how you look at it, facts about the Cayo Perico heist. Now, this video was inspired by Tim's Vaboda, who actually sent me a message earlier today saying, what would happen if you wouldn't jump out? Referring to the Alchemist, when you're flying in the Alchemist over the Cayo Perico island, what would happen if you just didn't jump out of the plane? And I was like, you know what? I don't know, but I want to find out. And that inspired this video, like I say. And this is in no particular order, except for the first one, because this is the one that inspired the video. So starting off, number 1. What would happen if you wouldn't jump out of the Alchemist? Now, as you can see right here, this is a fairly easy one to figure out. But as you come in, you can see on the right-hand side there where you can see the big red marker. That is the air defenses. If you fly into that, supposedly, we know this, you blow up. They just completely take you out. If you want to see a video of me attempting that, I will leave it at the end of this video and in the description of me attempting to dive straight into the compound. But anyway, it was a really good video. You should definitely check it out after this. But as you can see, we're coming to the end point right here. And just like any other like battle royale or anything where there's this type of mechanic where you're flying in, it just kicks you out. So that's number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to number 2. So number 2, what happens when you jump directly into the compound? Now, as I just said, I do have a video of me attempting this, but I thought just for the sake of this video, so you don't need to go and watch that one, even though I highly suggest you do, let's just go ahead and do it right here. As you can see, we're diving on down, and as soon as we get into that red cone, you can see it almost looks like we're about to make it, but you will never make it. Because if you notice when you actually play this game, no matter what entry you have to the compound, whether it's the drainage tunnel, or the main gate, or grappling over the wall, or going through the keypad on the little gates on the side, it always has a cutscene which loads up the interior of the compound. So you can't just jump directly into it. It wouldn't work. Number 3, you can poison the guards for the Cayo Perico heist. Now, this one is true, and if you want to see this in action, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on, because in tomorrow's video, I'm actually going to be doing the heist with this. But yes, you can poison the guards. Now, this is how you do it. There's 3 locations on the map where this could be. This spot, and this spot. Now, you can only do this when you're doing the heist prep. You can't do this when you're actually in the heist. Like I say, just make sure you do it after you've scoped out the tower, then go and look around the island and go to these 3 places. It will only spawn in one of the 3. So if you don't get it in one, move on to the next one, so on and so forth. So for the first one, it's this location right here. What you're going to want to do is drive over to it, walk over to it, whatever you want. And then once you get in here, I'll put a little red circle on the map right there. That's where it could be. And you can see I do not get it here. So we're going to move on to the next one. So this is the location for the next one. Once you get here, you'll notice it looks kind of like a little drug compound. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. It looks like an MC business. For this one, I do get it. So you can see exactly where I get it. It's going to be in the back right corner there. And you pick it up. And then this is what Pavel says.
Now this is interesting substance. Opportunity for improvisation, yes? You put this in the water supply, you have every guard on the island shitting his pants when he wants to be shooting you in the head. This is preferable, I think.
And as you can see on the top left there, it says contaminating the island's water supply using this powder will weaken El Rubio's guards on the Cayo Perico heist. So we will be doing this in tomorrow's video, testing it out. So make sure, like I say, subscribe, notifications for that. But anyway, if you don't find it in this location, let's move on to the 3rd one, which as you can see on the map right here is this location right here. So it's just going to be right here in front of this building. You can see there's a clothing disguise on the floor right there, which is really nice too. But you can't use that now, but you can use that in the actual heist. But this is where it's going to be, stacked on top of those boxes right there. Go ahead and pick it up. And then what you have to do once you've got this cut-in powder from any of those 3 is you need to go to a water tower. So as you can see, I am walking up to the water tower near the main dock right here. You're going to want to go all the way to the top. Now, once you get to the top, it's going to prompt you to pour this in. Go ahead and do that.
Excellent. For you, of course, not for the guards. As we say in Russia, you can be accurate or you can shit in your pants. Not both.
And then you get that little nice conversation there with Pavel, and that is it for the cutting powder, ladies and gentlemen. Have you tested this out? Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, moving on to number 4, bolt cutters. So this is another thing that's not really used too much. I haven't really seen a lot of people use it. It is helpful if you see them though, but it's not obviously something you desperately need because obviously we usually always have the cutting torch. So what are the bolt cutters used for? You'll see these scattered around the map. I'll put a map up on the screen right here showing you all the locations for them. But essentially what these do is they just make it quieter. As you can see on the prompt on the top left right there, it just makes cutting quieter. Like I know for me personally, especially when I'm on the main dock, when there's a lot of guards walking around, if I'm trying to be stealthy and I use the cutting torch, you can trigger the alarm because they will hear you. With these, it's very quiet. You literally just snip it, walk in, and no one's going to hear a thing. Number 5. Triggering the alarm once you leave the compound will not fail the elite challenge. This is true. So when you leave the compound, because obviously everyone wants to get the elite challenge, right? You want to be as stealthy as possible and you want to make sure you don't trigger any alarms. But once you've escaped the compound, like I would say the most common is this way right here through the main gate. Once you get out, you can trigger the alarm. You can kill as many people. You can trigger the alarm, run around like a madman, and it will not affect the elite challenge. The elite challenge will only fail if you trigger the alarm when you're inside the compound. Number 6, what are the chances of getting the best primary loot? So this is something myself and others always talk about. I always call it the stinky tequila because it feels like I get the tequila all the time. But people have looked through the source code of this game and it seems to be that tequila has a 60% chance of getting it. The necklace has a 15% chance. The bonds have a 15% chance. And getting the pink diamond is a 10% chance. Now, if you're like me and you do this heist every single day, that's what your odds are going to be. But if you wait like 3 days, like real days, those actually change. So like the tequila will be a 0% chance. If you just got tequila and you wait like 3 real days, you will have a 0% chance of getting tequila and a much better odds of getting the others. For me, my most common obviously being tequila, and then number 2 at a close second, which is kind of crazy. The odds are just in my favor, I guess, is typically the bonds. I get the bonds quite often, as you guys see in my videos. I think I just get lucky. Number 7, avoiding the Merryweather HQ setup mission. Now, this is something we all hate. I don't know anyone that does the Cayo Perico heist that enjoys the Merryweather mission. You have to follow a helicopter, and it feels like it takes about 10 days in real time. It is just awful. But there is a quick, simple way to avoid this. Once you get the mission and you're like, hell no. All you have to do is quit, go to an invite only, and start up another invite only lobby, and it does reset. So then you're going to want to go ahead and do it again. And it can give you this mission. The most I think I've got is it 6 times in a row. But I promise you, if you just keep resetting it, go to an invite only and redo it again, you will eventually get one of the good ones, which is when you have to go to one of the skyscrapers and just get the guns that way. It is so much easier. I hope this helps you. I think a lot of people already know this, but if you're new to the game and you want to avoid that Merryweather HQ mission where you have to follow the helicopter, just go to invite only, start a new lobby, and it resets it, and you can just try it again. Number 8, wearing a disguise. Now, this is one that, especially if you've been watching my videos, you'll know is incredibly useful. But if you're newer to the game, you probably don't even understand how this really works because you've watched a bunch of videos how to do it the fastest, easiest way. I'm probably guilty of supplying those videos. But if you want to enjoy yourself doing one of these heists, you definitely need to get this item of clothing. You'll see them scattered around the map. They're always in the same location. It can be in one of like 10, and I'll show them up on screen right here. Now, it doesn't spawn in every single location every single time. Usually, it only spawns, I think it's about 2, maybe 3, depending on the difficulty of the heist you're doing it to, because I think sometimes it doesn't spawn any. But essentially, in one of these 10 locations, if you're jumping in, go and see if you can find yourself a change of clothes. What this will do is put you in a disguise, and you can walk around freely and go and get loot and all of that good stuff, and you won't need to worry about the guards triggering. And this is also how you do the mission where you can drive straight into the compound. You have to get the change of clothes, That way you can drive straight on into the compound. Number 9 is the small key. Now this is something that probably all of you have picked up at some point in your GTA. You'll see someone on the side of the road, there'll be a little mark and you'll be like, you know what, since I'm here, I'm just going to walk over to them. Sometimes they can give you money, sometimes they can give you different things. But I think the first one every single time is a key. You'll see it'll pop up on the screen on the left and say you have found a small key that'll open up something on the Cayo Perico heist. What this key is actually for is the drawer in the office. You can walk up to the drawer, open it up, and pull out the golden gun. Now, a lot of people think that this is just normal and anyone can do it, not realizing the reason they can do it is because they found the key at some point in their GT Online, running around, causing a ruckus. But that is what this key is for, and that is just something that's a little bit of information for your faces, especially if you're newer to the game. And number 10, ladies and gentlemen, the Loch Ness Monster. That is right, this is a sore point on my channel because I did indeed find the Loch Ness Monster myself. I jumped down, I saw it, I thought it was a rock that weirdly looked like a Loch Ness Monster, and I started swimming towards it, or flying towards it. I was in a parachute because I had the Alchemist. I started flying towards it and I could see it clearly, and then it dove underwater and swam off. Now, after I did that, Pavel talked about, oh, there's something out there. There's something big on the radar. And then he starts, you know, talking about it, and then it says, oh, don't worry about it. It's just an old friend. It's the Loch Ness Monster. It is incredibly rare to find. If you've heard that prompt before and you've heard him say, I see something big on the radar.
Capitan, I do not want to worry, but there is something out there. Long-range scanners are picking up something big. On the surface, from movement patterns, I would say it is... Never mind. It is an old friend of mine.
That is because he is in your sight, but most of the time you're busy doing something else. But if you were to go and look around the water when he says that, you will indeed find the Loch Ness Monster. You can loot the locked North Dock loot location as a solo player. So this is 100% true. As you can see by what's going on in the background here, I have videos of this on my channel, but you can open this up and loot it as a solo player. Now, there's one thing you need to make sure you do if you want to try this yourself, and that is you need to make sure that your spawn location, so basically if you're setting up the Cayo Perico heist, make sure the North Dock is your entry point to the island. I've attempted this myself coming in from other locations and it does not work. The gate closes, but if you set it as the North Dock as your entry, you'll be able to go in here and grab some of this juicy loot as a solo player. Number 9, escaping from Cayo Perico heist with the motorcycle off the bottom of the map is the fastest and easiest way to do it. Now, this is correct, and obviously if you're a veteran of Cayo Perico, you will know this, but if you're a newer player and you've just started doing this for the first time and you're not quite sure what to do, this is something you might not know, but it is very simple. All you have to do when escaping Rubio's compound is walk on over, take out the guy with the motorcycle right here, and then literally just drive all the way to the bottom of the map, and then just hop off into the water. And then once you're in the water, go ahead and swim over to these 3 mines right here and just chill for a little bit, and it will end. This is by far the fastest, easiest way to do it. If you're doing this Cayo Perico run just for money, this is the way you should be doing it 100% of the time. If you're doing it for more fun or you want to explore, there is way more multiple ways to escape the island. I have tons of videos on it on my channel, but this is definitely the fastest way to escape and the easiest way to escape Cayo Perico. At number 8, you can kill the Juggernaut by bumping into him and knocking him over. This is true. Well, technically, you don't just knock him over and he dies. You do still have to shoot him. But as we all know, the easiest way to kill the Juggernaut is to shoot him in the back twice with the assault shotgun. But if you do not have a shotgun and you're like, oh my god, I don't have a shotgun, I need to take out the jug, how can I do it? As you can see right here from one of my videos, all you need to do is run it behind him, knock him to the floor. That'll give you a chance to start emptying your gun into him, and by the time he gets up and understands what's going on, you will be able to take him out. Typically, if you try shooting at the jug at any other way, if you don't knock him over, he will end up turning around and killing you. And if he doesn't kill you right away, he's still going to trigger the alarm and you're going to be screwed. So if you want to take him out without triggering the alarm and you don't have a shotgun, this is by far the best way to do it. And number 7, once you've left the compound, there is a way to escape without killing anyone and without triggering any alarms. That is right. Let's say you came into the compound first to get your primary loot and you wanted to get your secondary loot afterwards, but you didn't want to be getting shot at and the alarm going off and all of this, but you're like, how can I escape without taking anyone out. Because if you shoot anyone at the compound gates, as soon as Rubio's helicopter goes up and sees those bodies, it's going to trigger the alarm. So the best way to do this, as you can see playing in the background right here, is to actually just sneak up between their cones of vision, make your way over to the far fence, and then walk down towards where the compound gates are, like the main gate. When you get over there, you're going to see this tank right here. Jump on up to it, and you can actually hop over the wall. Now, once you've hopped over the wall, there is always a motorcycle sitting there waiting for you. And if you want to go get secondary loot without having any hassle, you can just hop on that and head on over to your next loot location. Number 6, you can take out the power at Cayo Perico. Now, if you would like to have fun on Cayo Perico and try out all the different ways to do this, I'm sure you've done this one yourselves. But if you're a newer player and you've just gone straight to online and searched the best, easiest way to do it, then you probably don't know about this strategy. It's not a very common one, but yes, if you go to the airstrip, you can see the power station right off to the side of it near where the solar panels are. If you go in there, there's 2 power switches that you need to take out. You take out the first one, and then right behind you, you walk on over. There's going to be a second one. Take that one out, and you'll see all of the lights and cameras on the Cayo Perico Island go out. Now, what this is going to do is it's literally just going to make it so you can run around even without a disguise and the cameras will not spot you. And also the guard's cone of vision will be much smaller. So you'll have a much easier time getting around the island. Coming in at number 5, we have the OP disruption missions. Again, if you're a veteran, you probably can do this heist with your eyes closed, but I'm sure at one point you've tried these and you've realized how easy it is. If you're new to the game and you haven't done these yet, I highly recommend it, especially if you're struggling with the Cayo Perico heist. There's 3 disruption missions available and you only get 1 chance to complete each of them. If you fail halfway through, you will not get a second chance to be able to try and take out all of these disruption missions. So for example, if you do the weapons disruption missions, there's 3 different sets of people you need to take out within that mission. If you take out the first one, it'll make it so a small amount of people during the actual heist itself will no longer have heavy weapons, they'll only have pistols. If you take out 2 of the 3 people, it'll make it so even more have pistols instead of the heavy assault weapons. And if you take out all 3, almost all of the people on Cayo Perico, all the guards will only have pistols. So if you're struggling and you keep getting absolutely destroyed, the weapons one is great, but so is the helicopter one. If you do the helicopter disruption missions, that means if you get caught, there will be no helicopters chasing you around. So if you want to make sure you do this heist as easy as possible, if you're struggling, make sure you do all 3 disruption missions. And even if you get caught, you will still have a very easy time. Number 4, you can do the Cayo Perico heist with a minigun. That is right, I have done it again on my channel, as you can see in the background here, but you can do the Cayo Perico heist with a minigun. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not, because it is absolute carnage, but there is a way to do it. Now, if you want to do this, you have to actually do it before you start the heist. You need to go into the higher crew support and then select the supply drop. Now, once you start up the heist itself, you need to take out the air defenses. Once the air defenses are taken out, you go ahead and call in your supply drop. And as you can see right here, you get not only the minigun, but you also get a rocket launcher and some sticky bombs. So if you want to have some fun and go into the Cayo Perico heist with a rocket launcher and a minigun, go ahead and test this out for yourself. It was a lot of fun, but it is possible. Number 4, the patrol boat is the fastest way to get to the Cayo Perico compound. My personal fastest time of doing the Cayo Perico heist with the Elite Challenge was doing this strategy. So you just got to make sure you have the patrol boat as your entry vehicle, and as soon as you come to a stop after the cutscene, you go ahead and blow yourself up and the boat blows up with you. And then this, as you can see right here, spawns you within the compound gates. And then from here, all you're going to want to have to do is run on up, take out a guard or 2, and they will drop a key code, and then you can go straight in the gates. This is by far the fastest way to get into the compound if that's something you're interested in. And even if you're one of those people that's like, you know what, I usually just do the Kasaka and then I jump off the end of the map, this is even faster than the Kasaka. The only problem with the patrol boat is the setup missions, because the patrol boat mission, in order to get the patrol boat to be able to use it, it's not that difficult, but sometimes it doesn't spawn in the location and it's kind of like a bugged mission. But if you get the patrol boat, this is the best way to get into the compound. Number 2, the Panther can run around the compound out of its cage. That is right. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it when you're walking past the Panther enclosure and you see the gate wide open. You're like, where is this guy? I have personally seen him running around when I was doing it with some randoms. And as you can see in the background right here, you can see him just absolutely going mental. You can't shoot him. He doesn't attack you. He doesn't seem to attack anyone. But it is a really cool thing. It seems like it's very rare. Just like in the last video I did of this, in the 10 facts. The Loch Ness Monster, also really rare. So I think this is something, if you've seen it, that's just... it's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, keep your eye out for it. And number 1, ladies and gentlemen, the combat shotgun. Now, in my last 10 facts about Cayo Perico, I showed you the golden gun. This time, we have the combat shotgun. So this is something that has multiple places it can spawn. I believe it's 5 in total. The first one is going to be up against the ledge right here next to where those little red cushions are. I'll show you where it is on the map right here. The next one is right up against the railings right here. I'll zoom in on it so you can see where it is. Next up, it could spawn right here next to the swimming pool. I'll show you again right here on the map. Next up, this one's actually here for me. It's in the center, right next to the fountain. Here it is on the map. And as you can see, once you pick this thing up, it'll say you have collected the combat shotgun. You have unlocked a new weapon. Go to ammunition to purchase. This is another location it'll spawn. Again, right up against the fencing right there. And here's a little zoom in. Same thing right here. It could spawn right up next to the flowers right there. And I'll zoom in here for you. And then the last place it could spawn is this location right here. Again, just next to where the red pillows are. And I'll show it on the minimap again right here. Starting off at number 1, you can enter the office in the hangar while doing the Cayo Perico heist. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, like myself, have tried walking up these stairs into this door. And as you can see, it is locked. You can't go in it. So the only way to get upstairs to get the loot is to grab the forklift, get the box, lift the box up so you can jump on over. And a lot of people like myself, when leaving after getting this, they just jump on over just the same way they came up. But did you know you can walk through this door right here? Not only is it a cool little room, you can look around in here. There's a laptop, which would be cool, don't get me wrong, if you could actually use this thing to do some sort of disruption on the island. But it's just a cool place that not many people know about. So you can walk straight back out the door. So instead of getting your loot and then jumping over, you can actually just grab your loot, walk through the door, and then walk out the other one and run down the stairs. Coming up at number 2, you can get buried treasure while doing the setup. Now listen, I know a lot of veterans of this game, especially people that have watched my other facts videos, probably already know this one. But you'll be surprised, I have dozens and dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of Cayo Perico videos on my channel. And the amount of people that ask me how to do this is insane. So I'm assuming there's some new people that don't know you can do this. Luckily for me, in this clip I have right here, both of them are right next to each other. I typically don't do these when I'm doing Cayo Perico. You're going to get 50k for doing it, but I don't know. I just don't typically do them. But these were right next to each other, so I thought I'd do this for it, or for you to show you how to do it. But basically, when you walk on over to them, into the circle, as you can see on the top left, it prompts you how to use the metal detector. Now, I'm using an Xbox One controller during this, so obviously it's the left trigger. I'm not sure what it'd be on PlayStation, maybe R2, or I'm not sure on PC, but it'll tell you on the top left. And when you pull it out, it'll have the beeps, right? So as you get closer towards it, it'll be beep, 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 beep. And once you get close enough to it, it'll prompt you to dig for treasure. Now, when you pick up one, it'll say buried stashes, 1 of 2 buried stashes collected, and you'll get 25,000. And then if you head over to the second one, same thing, you'll pull out your little beepy beep thing. Go on over and then dig up that one. And then eventually it'll say 2 of 2 buried stashes collected. So 2 times 25, you're going to get $50,000. Coming in at number 3, again, this is one that veterans will already know, but if you're newer to the game, it's not that it'll help you really that much at all, but it'll just give you a little bit of insight of where you need to look for the box. So as you can see right here, if we look at our mini map or pull up our map, there is no guards around the control tower. If there is no guards, again, as you can see right here, the signal box will be on the ground level. It'll always be on the ground level if there's no guard around the tower. Now, as you can see right here, there is a guard around the tower. And if you ever see a guard around the tower when you're driving up to it, you already know as you get there, it is not going to be on the ground level. You're going to have to go up the stairs and climb all the way up. Maybe it'll be on the first level, second, third, but you are going to have to climb all the way up if there is a guard there. Coming in at number 4, you may have noticed when you're doing the setups that there is a barrier. You cannot jump over this barrier no matter how hard you try. on a motorcycle anyway. At least there's like an invisible wall. And a lot of people, when they actually play the heist themselves after, once they've done the setups, they avoid this because they know that there's a barrier there. I've had a lot of people tell me they didn't realize, because when you do the mission, the barrier is completely gone. There is no barrier around this entire area when you do the missions. So just FYI, if you got some loot and you're on a motorcycle from the airstrip and you want to get to the main dock, you can drive all the way up and over here. Speaking of that barrier, though, coming in number 5, there's a lot of Easter eggs scattered around Cayo Perico heist. If you want to get into this barrier when you're doing the setup, once you've gone to the control tower, if you just jump off the top, you can glide all the way over here and land within the barrier. Once you're within the barrier, you'll see one of the first Easter eggs here I'm going to show you, which is the IAA crashed helicopter. You can take a picture of it, and this is what it'll say.
You know who uses this type of helicopter? IAA. So the rumors were true after all.
And as you walk around the area where the barrier is, you'll see some more signs. We saw this dead body right here. If we take a picture, this is what he says.
Well, I guess at the last party, perhaps. Just think, if we do not pull this off perfectly, we too will be found like this.
Now, keep in mind, you can come up here and see these when you're doing a mission, so you don't need to worry about the barrier. But when you take pictures, you can't send them to Parville, and he won't give you those prompts. If you do decide to come in here, though, when you're doing the setup missions, since you can't jump over the barrier, you are going to have to jump to your death in order to get out of here, because otherwise you're not going to get out. I'm sure you guys have all seen this Easter egg at some point. This is a route that I used to always take to get to the control tower when I was newer to the game. But if you take a picture of this, this is what Parville says.
Torture cage. Typical cartel methods. Take a good look. This will be your home for a very long time if you are caught. Although it can be survived. I once spent a whole summer in one of these. Let me tell you, the Welsh are a people not to be trifled with.
And there is dozens more Easter eggs scattered around all of Cayo Perico, so let me know if you found all of them. Coming in at number 6, this is straight out of one of my easiest way to do the setup videos. But during one of the setup missions, when you have to come inside, find the board, and take a picture, did you know you can just literally, as soon as you walk in the door, you can take the picture right there and then just literally turn around and walk straight on out. You don't have to walk around, look for the board, take the picture. You can just go in, take a picture, turn around, walk out. Coming in at number 7, we have Mark II weapons. This is something a lot of people, believe it or not, ask me so much in the comment sections of my videos. How did I get Mark II weapons in the Cayo Perico heist? Now, I honestly didn't know how I got them. I just assumed everyone had them. And even after doing some research online, the only thing I came up with is, in order to get them, the thing that seems to be the common thread here is you have to own a bunker and have your upgrades in the bunker completed. Now, some people say you need to have the operations center. That is not the case, because I do not have one of those myself, and I have the Mark II weapons. So it would seem you just need to own a bunker and have all the upgrades done, and you'll get the Mark II weapons. If anyone has any other clues on this, let everyone know in the comment section down below. But I assume the people that are asking me that question most likely don't have a bunker. Number 8. Now, this is one that I think was the most amount of comments I got on one of my other videos. I said that the most annoying setup mission you can do for the Cayo Perico is when you get the weapons mission and you have to go to the Merryweather HQ, because it just takes so long. So what I used to always do is just go into an invite-only lobby and just restart and come back in and do it again. It would only take you like 30 seconds. But what most of you said to do, so I'm putting it in this video just in case there's some new people out there that aren't aware of this, is use guided missiles. Now, in order to get guided missiles in your sub, it does cost you 1.9 million. So if you don't have them, I would wait until the Kasaka goes on sale and the upgrades go on sale so you can get it at a discounted price. But basically, if you start one of the weapons missions and it says you need to go to Merryweather HQ, all you need to do is go to your missile silo thing right here, and then fire off a mission and head towards the Merryweather HQ. The helicopter is always going to be on top, so just make sure you fly on over there, aim right at it, and it will explode. And on explosion, you will fail the mission, and it'll be instant. So all you need to do is get on up out of your seat, go back to the planning board, restart the mission, and you should get a brand new mission. Coming in at number 9, this is more of a quality of life one, not too much of an exciting one for your faces, but you can do the weapons mission Stealthy. Now, as you can see right here, I walk in and we just have our silenced SMG and we just start popping people off, just very quietly, very slowly. The alarm doesn't trigger. There's a guy in the bathroom too, but we're going to leave him in there because he doesn't know what's going on. The thing is, and the thing that kind of sucks about this is even though I believe this is the fastest way to do this mission, as soon as you leave and you grab the guns, you're still going to have helicopters chasing you when you leave. I personally believe if you do this without triggering the alarm, there shouldn't be any helicopters when you leave. But you know what? Maybe that's something that they need to fix, but you can do it without... A lot of people throw like Molotov cocktails in there and stuff like that. It just takes too long. I just like to walk in, pop, 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 and you're good. Now, coming in at number 10, this is an incredibly interesting one, and it's the only time I've ever heard of or seen this. Now, this is from one of the people in my comment sections of one of my older videos, of my facts videos. It's Sim Kurok, I believe, is the channel name. And it's the only information I've ever seen of this. But let me show you what it is exactly. So what this person did is he was scouting the island. Just going around, taking pictures, scouting the island. And what he says happened, as you can see right here, is an IAA, like, hit squad came over to him and just started shooting. And he couldn't shoot back because obviously when you're doing setup missions, you don't have any weapons. So he just tried getting in the car and then they killed him. Now, one of the things you'll notice when this was happening, you could see a helicopter on the mini-map, which you can never see when you are doing setup missions unless you've triggered an alarm. But what he did before this, while he was scouting, is he went over to that helicopter that I just showed you, the AII one, the one that had crashed, and he took a picture of it. But I assume he had been in the game for a while. He had been doing these scope missions for a while, maybe 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, just going around the island, checking things out. The only thing I can assume is that helicopter that's flashing right there on the mini-map is the one that he took a picture of. And later on down the line, there was this rare instance where these guys actually do come over to you. Now, I have never seen this myself personally. I don't know. I would love to hear you guys in the comments. Have any of you ever seen this happen before? This, like I say, this is the first time I've ever seen or heard of this happening. But the reason I do kind of believe it is because, as you guys know, you can see the Loch Ness monster, which is super rare to be able to see. You can see the Panther running around the compound, which is also super rare to see. And this could also be one of those things that is super rare to see. And most people probably don't spend this much time scouting out the island. And also maybe, like in this, you had to take a picture of the helicopter first in order to trigger this event. But it could be an incredibly rare event that we just don't see very often. But I would love to know if anyone else has tried this. I tried it myself personally, and nothing happened to me. Nothing happened. I don't know. I assume if it is real, you just have to be around for a while. You have to take a picture of the helicopter that had crashed. But I'm not sure. I don't know if this is factual or not, but I would love to know from you guys if any of you have ever seen this before. So that's the 10 facts I have for you in this video. There is one more, which people told me was a factual thing, but I tested out for myself, and that does not happen at all. And that is when you use the minigun, if you just tap the trigger instead of like just spraying the thing, it will be like a silenced weapon. You can use it silently. I put this to the test. It did not work for me. Let me know what you guys think. I can't imagine this thing working as a silence weapon anyway, but it did not work for me. But anyway, guys, I hope at least one of you learned something from these 10 facts of Cayo Perico here today. If you did enjoy, like I say, I have 2 more videos that have 10 facts in each of those. So we have 30 facts in total. And the first 2, obviously, from the comments that I got in those videos, taught a lot of people, even people that have been playing this game. I had people that told me they've been doing it for like 200 KO heists and they didn't know some of them. All right, guys, so that is it for the 30 Cayo Perico facts. Let me know in the comment section down below if there was any that you didn't know. And let me know if there's any that I missed that I can do another one of these videos on. I feel like I know most things about the Cayo Perico heist, but if I've missed anything, leave it in the comment section down below. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, as always, with a brand new video.